we have a piece that's titled Little Black Bear, written and directed by Christopher Raishun Marshall, starring Ryan Sett as Elizal James, Tiffany Taylor as Minerva James, and Maurice Kessler as Mark Heron. Little Black Bear is a beautiful story about the writer's third great-grandparents, two Choctaw Indians navigating the impossible choice of saving their future or their history and the pain that either decision will undoubtedly bring. The setting is Mississippi, 1973, the home of Elizal and Minerva.
1873.
1873, thank you. The scene opens in the 1800s style home. Old handmade furniture and accoutrements are spread around the place. Candelabras and kerosene lamps are situated on different pieces of wood furniture. A clothesline is hung upstage with shirts, overalls, socks, and white briefs on it. Near it sits a basin of water with a washboard in it. Minerva sits in a rocking chair wearing a handmade dress and sewing a block pattern quilt. She hums a bit. Elizal enters with cut pieces of firewood. He closes the door and looks at her. She looks at him, rolls her eyes, and continues sewing.
Hey, Minerva.
Mm-hmm.
I sent the Negroes home for the day. Figured that they could take the rest of the day off.
Okay.
Bought you some wood for the oven. The new boy, Walter, helped me cut it. He asked me earlier if he could live with us as a lodger.
May as well. You ain't got nowhere else to go.
You fine with that?
I don't see why not.
Well, tomorrow I'll go ask around about him. Make sure he ain't a troublemaker. Can't have white people thinking we're harboring an unruly Negro.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody come by to see me today?
Ain't seen a soul. Not since I fed them field hands earlier.
That stew sure was good too. What'd you do after that?
Same thing you see me doing now.
Well, I sure had a hard day. Carried some corn down to the market this morning. Sold a nice hefty bushel. Checked out tomatoes. We got to put some more fertilizer out there because they ain't growing ripe like they should. Had Daniel breaking the new Negroes, show them the ropes. Also had him show them the lodging quarters and the outhouse. Milked a few cows too.
You don't say.
You ain't gonna kiss me or ask me how my day was?
You just told me how it was. Lips ought to be tired from all that yapping.
All right. What I done now.
Mailman dropped this off earlier.
The seal's broke. I'm guessing you read it already?
Sure did.
Well, then go on and tell me what it said.
Mr. Heron cordially thanks you on being such an agreeable Negro.
Negro?
That's what you want to be, ain't it? Since being Choctaw ain't good enough for you.
I'm gonna go wash and put on a good shirt. Them clothes dry yet?
Why is he cordially thanking you? What did you agree to do?
Just men stuff. You don't need to worry about it.
I sure am going to worry about it. Now tell me what is going on.
Give me one of them old shirts to dry off with.
Don't sit up here and tell me that you agreed to that nonsense them white men were spewing at the town assembly.
Okay, then I won't.
Eliza.
Listen, Minerva, don't get worked up. Just know that I did it for you.
You did it for me.
For us. They offered me a deal.
I'm sure they did.
Look, it's the best we'll ever get. Plus, there ain't too much lead me to believe that saying no was an option.
How you know? Did you try?
When white men with guns tell you what they want, you be right smart to just listen.
Guns or no guns, you made a deal with the devil, Eliza. I hope you happy.
Now, look, woman, we both Choctaw. I'm dark-skinned and you fair-skinned. To them, I'm just a Negro that speaks another language, a Negro who can read and write, a Negro with privileges. And you worse. You Indian. But they look at you like you a mulatto, like you halfway one of them.
But I ain't one of them. I ain't even close to any of them. My blood is Choctaw.
I know, but they ain't gonna see it like that. We gotta do what we gotta do to avoid being like the Negroes out there. Now I know we treat them good. We pay them what we can and we can give them a place to sleep, but that's because we are in a position to do that.
Get to your point, Eliza.
We ain't never known what it feels like to be slaves. But you feel it, don't you?
Feel what?
White folks got their boots situated smack dab in our necks.
That ain't nothing new. They've been doing that since before we were born.
But it's different now, can't you tell? You know how they changed their minds? They give us freedom now because we're from a civilized tribe, because we fought for them. We don't question their methods, their slavery. But that don't mean they ain't gonna one day up and take our freedom back.
So your answer is to let that white man traipse right through that their door and erase thousands of years of our history? For what, Eliza?
Or survival, for our future, for his future. You heard what happened to the Seminoles, the Amites, even the Chickasaws just north of us. What made you think that it won't happen to us? I want my son growing up in his own land that was passed down from his father, who got it from his father, who got it from his father, so he can farm it. Get him a few field hands, a wife, and make things comfortable for his family. So what if I had to give him my identity?
What will any of that matter if he can't be proud of who and what he comes from?
Damn it, Minerva, what is there to be proud of? White folks saving us for last? They killing off other tribes where we can bow and say yes sir, no sir, long enough to be the last tribe they finish off? Do you want it for our child?
Throwing away our heritage and our family's culture out of fear? You want to anger the Koanukasha?
I ain't worried about angering them because they don't exist.
They existed for thousands of years before your precious white people did.
Dangerous little people with magic powers. Do you hear how that sounds?
Turning your back on who you are and the culture passed down to you from your father. Do you hear how that sounds?
What has being Choctaw done for us? My father fought with the white folks in 1812 and in the 60s. Now he dead. Fight for them as a civilized Indian, they called him. We dressed like them. We learned their language. We adopted their religion, their Christianity. We studied all their ways, fought for the Confederacy in the war, and then what happened? They lost and took it out on us. My father died, and we still got pushed out of the Oklahoma Nation to the land of Mississippi.
You gonna sit here and blame your decision on the war?
I'm blaming my decision on survival. That's why I'm dealing with the devil, as you say. We've only been able to keep the land because of what my father did for them. I see them eyeing it, looking at our property like hungry coyotes. I'm not throwing away our culture, Minerva. I'm trying to save it.
Eliza, it's open. Lizel.
Fine day it is, Mrs. James.
Speak of the devil.
I hope I'm not disturbing you both.
No, sir. You ain't disturbing us at all. Come on in, Mr. Heron. Minerva, get up and let the man sit down in your rocker.
Oh, no. I won't be here that long. Don't want to take up all your time. I just need to give you this here contract from the mayor.
What exactly did my husband agree to, if you don't mind my asking?
Minerva.
That's all right. I can explain it to the little lady as we go. Now, this here is a contract guarantee from the mayor that regardless of what happens in the surrounding areas, your family shall be the sole owners of this 600 acres of land as long as the grass shall grow and the rivers
Didn't
run.
work too well for us the last time y'all said it.
Minerva, hush.
Your wife is rather spirited, isn't she?
Please forgive her, Mr. Heron. She's with child, so she talks crazy sometimes.
Oh, well, congratulations. I hope the child learns your common sense, Eliza. As I was saying, this contract is a guarantee. As long as you pay land taxes, all 600 acres will remain in your family.
Land taxes? The land already belongs to us. Your people should be the ones paying taxes.
Woman, be quiet.
Now, my signature is here. The mayor's is here. You don't have to sign. All you have to do is pass this here census.
Census.
Yes, it's for the head of the household, meaning your husband. I'll ask questions. You simply give me an answer.
Yes, sir.
Now, first question. Please state your name.
Eliza Squatting Eagle James. I mean, Eliza James, sir.
Yeah. And the squatting eagle?
Just a slip of the tongue.
You do well not to have too many of those.
Why can't he?
No, sir, I won't. You can count on me.
Good. Are you head of household?
Yes, sir, I am.
And your mailing address is Route 1, Division 1, Box 35, Summerland Springs Road?
That's where you came to, ain't it?
Yes, it is, Mr. Heron.
Don't you have some women's chores to do?
You looking at it.
What's the next question, Mr. Heron?
Are you rushing me, boy?
No, sir, just real happy that you're giving us this here deal.
How many people are in your household?
2.
Not for long if you keep trying me.
When were you born?
April 2nd, 1842.
And what do you identify as? I'll specify the question if it confuses you. What race do you identify as?
Black.
You mean Negro, don't you?
I mean black.
That is not a classification.
Well, it should be.
Are we gonna have a problem here?
No, sir. No problem at all. I'm a Negro, a free Negro.
And your wife?
I'm a proud.
Mulatto. She's a mulatto.
What?
Is there a problem?
I reckon not. Apparently, I'm a mulatto.
Good.
Everything all right, Mr. Heron?
Yeah, all my years seeing Negroes, I ain't never seen one light up bright red like you.
Beg your pardon?
You might want to be careful with that. You don't want other white folks assuming you a damn Injun. Now, here is your contract. If you know anyone else who may want a similar deal, please send them my way. Pleasure doing business with you. Good day.
Don't look at me like that. I know what I agreed to was wrong, but I did it for you and the baby.
Fine. No need to explain. I get it. You had to take care of your family. I hope one day your son will understand.
I'm sure he will.
Ose Lo Sanita.
What?
That's what I was gonna name him.
Little Black Bear.
After your father, to teach him that he comes from a strong warrior tribe, a tribe who would rather die as Choctaw than live as slaves.
Minerva,
I guess I'll just name him Henry instead.
She grabs her sewing needle and her quilt, goes to the trash bucket and drops it in. She looks at Eliza, shakes her head, and exits. Eliza stares after her, then at the contract, regretting his decision. Blackout.